Maboy pageant fans, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hey Adam G, your online Queenspirational talk show. Hashtag WMMMO or hashtag Walang Magmo-Move On. That has been Michelle Dee's mantra since coming home triumphantly from Miss Universe in El Salvador last year. Paano naman kasi guys, pinakita naman niya sa atin how she really worked hard to make us proud in the pageant stage. And especially when she wore that iconic black evening gown made by one of our world-class Filipino designers, whom fortunately I will be speaking to right now. Kaya I'm so blessed to be able to be having this intimate conversation with him. So here he is. Please say hello to the one and only Mr. Mark Bumgarner.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No, I think I should be the one to thank you more. Thank you for taking the time and effort in gracing this interview. It really means so much to me, to a pageant fan like me who still cannot move on, admittedly, from Michelle Dee's stellar
mag-move on
performance.
talaga.
Wala talaga. Hanggang kailan ba dapat kami tayo officially mag-move on? Bigyan mo po
Okay
kami
lang
ng
naman
time.
hindi mag-move on.
Oo. Paano ba naman? Paano ba naman tayo hindi makaka-move on? Kasi naman, parang pakiramdam natin she should have, went further
Yeah, I
during
mean,
the competition.
it shows naman all of the love she was getting. She's
Mhm.
getting on social media. It's not just the Filipinos who
Mhm.
think that. So that's enough validation for anyone.
So I never realized that Michelle Dee would eventually turn out to be Bumgarner beauty. So I want to ask you, how do you describe Bumgarner beauty?
Okay. Well, parang interview lang ito sa after a fashion show. No, basically, a Mark Bumgarner woman is someone who is confident,
Uh-huh.
knows what she wants,
Mhm.
and it's not, dictated by trends.
Uh-huh.
My whole brand identity, I've always tried to stick to it, which is, timeless elegance, but with a modern twist.
Oh, that's why it reflects on all the pieces that you have done since
Yeah.
since your career began in the fashion industry. So you started to make a name for yourself in the fashion industry, pero it was only until a few years ago that you started embarking or making a transition slowly to making gowns for the pageant industry. For the pageant industry.
It wasn't intentional.
Mhm.
It was just, with Manila is so small, and, the industry also is so small here. So, it's hard to say no sometimes, or it's inevitable when you have a friend, a close friend, or a friend who has a friend that's joining and stuff. And we don't naman like hunt and see who we should be dressing up. Kasi, we have a business to run at the end of the day.
Yes.
So when we do take on queens or say yes to queens to support them in their journey, it's very seldom that we go all in, because as you know, the heartbreaks and the emotional stress and stuff that comes with it, it's hard to keep up with most of the time. So actually, before Michelle, we were on a long hiatus
Mhm.
with pageants. My last one before her was Dindi.
Dindi, yeah.
So
Miss
we
Supranational.
We did Dindi, but we did Dindi also for Binibini before she did Miss World, and then got Supra.
Yeah, but even before Dindi in Supra, nagmarka na ho kayo sa amin sa pageant industry. Especially, yung gown ni Parul back in 2015, that red
That
ball
red
gown.
one, yeah.
And mas lalong tumatak a year after that A-line dress ni Kylie Versosa that she wore in one of her activities during Miss International with that huge bow at the back. That was really iconic. It really served her as one of the best defining moments of her time in Miss International. I wonder, how do you choose to collaborate with these beauty queens?
I mean, with the queens who inquire or try to come to us, I honestly hindi namin nakikilala lahat. With Kylie, in Kylie's case, I knew Kylie na before she even did Binibini.
Yes.
Because she used to model also
Oh.
before Binibini. So I would see her, when there would be fashion shows, but we weren't that close. Kylie and I really only got super close in the past 3 years. So we weren't close yet also nung Miss International siya. It was really after.
And then Laura Lehman came, right?
Laura was basically my first experience na all the way through from national pageant to international.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ay, wait, may naalala pa ako si Joanna Eden. Yeah.
Joanna Eden was my first ever gown for Binibini. So that was actually the first ever gown I made for a pageant.
And how was your experience making your first gown for a national pageant?
Honestly, we only had 10 days because they came to me 10 days before the finals night. And since Joanna at that time was still very new to Manila, she had just moved here parang months prior from Australia, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was honestly, that was very easy because she gave me full reign.
Oh.
So complete trust, which is 9 times out of 10, if you give me full trust and full reign, I will be happy with the outcome. Because I tend to work better if I don't have a lot of like dictators around me with what to do with the looks. Kasi I myself, aaralin ko naman muna yung tao bago ko siya gagawa ng damit. It's not just, wear this. No.
Was it the emerald gown that she wore?
Emerald.
I remember, she really had a moment
and
there.
that was also the first time I ever watched Binibini live. Was when she did that. So that's when I kind of caught the bug. So that's my first time watching live and grabe the stadium when it was. I didn't realize how crazy it was until I watched that time, and that's when my love for pageants started actually.
So over the years, we've been seeing your gowns grace the pageant stage, and I noticed whenever someone would wear a Mark Bumgarner or someone would wear your gown, there's this certain class or old school glamour that your gowns evoke.
Which is my goal when someone wears my
Very
clothes.
Charles
Because
James.
it has to... The dress can't wear you and vice versa.
Mhm.
The dress just has to, make you feel better, make you look good, make your posture look better. Hindi pwedeng maganda lang yung gown. Because if you put, for example, Michelle's black gown on someone else, hindi siya bagay. That specific silhouette, the specific where we place the things, it is only with Michelle in mind. That's why I think uunahan na kita with your next question.
Yes.
About the green and the black.
Yeah.
First fitting pa lang, we already knew which was for prelims and which was for finals. There was no second guessing. Until the end, there was a little, like a 1 day of conversation about it, but no one really ever kind of put their foot down. No. The minute she fitted the black was when we knew it was for the finals. Kasi iba yung tindig niya in the fitting room pa lang. It was a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. And that's why people are asking again, why are there no backup gowns or nothing? I'm the type of person na quality over quantity. So why make 5 gowns if you can do 2 gowns that you don't have to second guess?
Pero hindi mo na factor in na pwedeng, let's say, something bad might happen to
Naisip
the gown.
namin yun because there's stories of like sabotage and stuff like that. But I actually asked advice from Pia. And she said, sa Miss Universe walang ganun. The gowns backstage daw in Miss Universe, there's people talaga watching out for the gowns. And she was right because the gowns were not put in any special containers or garment bags with locks and stuff. It was all there for everyone to see.
Ako naman, the reason why I asked how you came up with the decision-making process for the black gown to be worn during the finals is because ngayon, as an afterthought, since hindi pa nga rin tayo makamove on, I'm just wondering na off the top of my head, it has been in the back of my mind, what if you switch it, Michelle switch it? Like, she wore the black gown during the prelims and the green cutout gown for the finals, would the outcome been different?
I think the outcome wouldn't have been as iconic as it is. Whether she is crowned or not,
Mhm.
I mean, what you see on social media and what you hear with people, even from strangers, I think is more than we ever dreamed of.
Mhm.
You don't have to have the crown to win. And she's proving that right now.
Pero kasi masakit panoorin na, you know,
As a
she's
pageant
shown.
fan, I mean, ikaw as a pageant fan, anong makita mong butas sa buong performance ng finals night?
Wala.
Nothing.
Nothing.
She improved 1,000% with her swimsuit,
Yeah.
which was what everyone was talking about during her MUPH.
Nationals.
So you can't say anything there. Her evening gown segment on both prelims and finals were 100 times better than the evening gown segment no MUPH.
Mhm.
What else is there to do for her? They didn't give her a mic.
Ako lang kasi nag-iisip lang ako. Kasi nga, di ba, I was just thinking that maybe had she worn the black gown during the prelims, and since no one knew then that she would be wearing Apo Whang-Od inspired gown,
Yeah.
at least the judges would, would have a longer time digesting, oh, she's wearing something iconic back home. So at least that's gonna be, that's
At
gonna be
first,
part of their
Parang
decision-making process while
the
inputting her
hour
score.
after the whole competition. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. But looking back, when they did that like wide angle shot of all of them standing in a row, the top 10,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would think anyone could see that in that 10 that she is the only one who stood out.
Mm-hmm.
The only one who stood out. It was like from afar, because you didn't see that they were all the actual top 10. You would think that they were just her backup.
Yeah, that's what I
So
thought.
parang mga bridesmaids on the side. That's what people were commenting online. And you can see, kasi visually on stage, the silver gown is not visual on stage with really bright lights. You don't see
Yes.
the details of the gowns and stuff like that. That's why, personally, I don't like to do silver gowns, for example, for stage. And black naman was a no-brainer because that's her favorite color. That's also why we did it for MEPH. And when she asked me nga before about making her gowns for her journey this year from nationals to my commenter was, sige ba, I'll do it as long as you don't expect any pageant patty gowns from me. And she called it. The next day, can I come see you now?
Mm. What was the story behind you making making Apo Whang-Od as an inspiration for her finals gown?
Okay, so she won May. So
Yeah.
I technically had around 6 months. I had my team and I, Earl, who I work very closely with, we honestly did not start any of the design process until about 2 or 3 months after she won local pageant. So wala kaming maisip. And we didn't want to force it. We focused first on other things like the collection we had to release. We did some travels to promote the collection that we did, and then we started sketching some ideas, and we showed them to Michelle, and nothing was clicking. Like when I would show the sketches, she liked like 3 or 4, but I could feel that it's not like she loved it. So ako din, I wasn't really parang confident in what we were presenting. And then 1 month before she left is the only time I figured out na Apo Whang-Od is the way to go. We texted her like 2 a.m. in the morning. Can you come tomorrow here at the studio? We have something to present to you. So we went to the back where my board is. So I prepared all of the visuals and all of the to present her the whole story. Wala pa siyang 2 minutes. Game na to. This is it. This is the concept we should go with. It was that fast.
Kasi now that I think of it, no, yung art ni Apo Whang-Od, tsaka yung energy, yung edgy personality ni Michelle
It
really
really
match.
goes.
Yeah, goes well together.
Kasi
Now that I
with the whole Whang-Od naman, for me, it's no secret that sobrang iconic yung Vogue cover niya, right?
yes.
And that really made a mark globally as well. It put Vogue Philippines on the map, basically, in terms of showcasing Filipinos. But early this year, I also had a chance to go to the Cordillera region because I was hunting for different local weaves. And I also landed in Kalinga. I wasn't able to go all the way to Whang-Od because we only had 48 hours there. Pero actually, a few people from the group stayed behind to go up to her, and then they were sending us videos because they got tattoos and everything. So it wasn't something ano din for me, parang random. Nandun na siya somewhere in my head. It just took me a while to parang pin it down. Oh, we should do this for the gown. And syempre, I also had some hesitations because how will I make it look like expensive at the same time culturally appropriate, at the same time hindi siya mukhang national costume. Because that was the challenge I wanted to take on. Kasi when you think Apo Whang-Od or the tattoos and stuff, it's been used so many times in local pageant, Miss Gays, lahat for national costume. Even for some of our Miss Universe Philippines competing abroad, it's been used for NatCos. So the challenge was how to make it couture, how to make it high fashion, and how to make it na it's for the evening gown segment. Just like when I did for April Smith, when she
NUP.
competed, I also asked them the same question. Why does wearing a terno or a Filipiniana have to be for national costume? I've had that idea in my mind with the right candidate na magsuot ng white Filipiniana on the stage, and April was the one who did it. It was originally for someone else, but April came in on the last minute and wore it.
And she executed it very beautifully on stage.
Super.
Yeah, as you were saying yun nga, that was the challenge pala. And when it came out, ang ganda ho ng kinalabasan kasi it
Super
was
fingers
respectable
crossed
to the
yun.
tattoos
Yeah.
of Whang-Od.
And kasi you don't want it to look like a tattoo. You want the people to know na it's an interpretation of it. Kasi if I wanted it to look like a tattoo, then it would just be like skin tone or printed or yung fake But we wanted to elevate it, and we wanted to challenge ourselves to make it look high fashion at the same time. And people nga are saying, I saw some comments like, why is it only the top? And how come the draping on the bottom is plain? I said, because if you make it all the way down, it will look like a national costume.
Yeah.
And that's not the segment that it was going for.
Ako, to be honest, Mark, nung di ba nagpapa-interview ka na days before her preliminary competition, and you were giving us clues then sa lahat ng news outlets, and when you told us na she's gonna be paying tribute, she's gonna be wearing a gown that is inspired by one of our national artists. So lahat kami sa El Salvador, kaming mga Pilipino doon, naguhulaan kami. Margie Moran. Pero it's something that would pay tribute, need national artist sinabi, something that is paying tribute to an iconic Filipina woman. So sabi namin, una namin naisip si Margie Moran kasi cultural center of the Philippines. Tapos sabi, parang may kausap din kaming parang nakakaalam nung gown ni Michelle. Tapos sabi niya, no. Sabi ko, Catriona Gray. No. Tapos, yung dalawang yon sinabi nung fellow friend ko. Tapos nung sinabi ko, teka, Apo Whang-Od, biglang tumahimik na lang yung kausap namin. So sabi ko, aha. Pero syempre hindi ko kunento yun sa mga followers ko nung live. Kasi ko, I kept it to myself.
Kasi it's not a long shot then if you think about it Kasi she has been all over this whole year with her cover on Vogue, diba? So if you think about it, it's not that far of a shot, diba? That it would have been that. And a lot of people kind of guessed it the night before.
Pero hindi namin alam na gano'n na magiging execution. Talaga when she came out talaga on set, kung kaganoon ako na yung sarili ko, talaga, Kasi it's never been done before by a Filipina candidate in an international stage. Yeah.
She really executed it flawlessly, perfect. Couldn't ask for anything more from her.
And I also want to take this opportunity to commend you din for the beautiful emerald green cutout gown that you made her wear for the finals.
That's a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah. Kasi nung nakita ko yung gown na yun, sabi ko, talaga, ano nakain ni Mark Bumgarner to create that? Because for the longest time, di ba, whenever we would see your collection in fashion shows, you would always be in you will be always be known for solid fabrics and less beadwork. And as we were looking all your pasabog materials on social media, teka, may mga bato-bato doon, may mga crystals dito. So parang sabi ko, it's very un-Mark Bumgarner. So, cutouts pa. Eh, di ba you're mostly into soft and feminine gowns? So parang,
well, the whole my journey as a designer, the whole solid and structured and very clean cut silhouettes, that's what put me on the map back 2016, 2017 globally. And I've been doing it for 7-8 years now, that being very true to that look. And as a designer, you always have to evolve. So it's just adding new technique, adding more to my library, diba? Kasi if I don't evolve, I mean, the industry around me is already taking on to what we've been doing for so long. So if other people around you can already do what you used to do, then you have to give them something else to look forward to.
So I get the green color kasi pero yung snake-inspired silhouette niya sa...
The silhouette. And the way we put the different shades of green, and there's also actually black crystals there to parang shadow it, to make it look like scales when she's walking.
Hindi ka ba kinabahan ka ba nun when she finally showcased it on stage na parang she got mixed reviews because it wasn't the stage lights wasn't complementing with the color of her gown?
For me, it was fine. I didn't think na it was too dark or too bright. It was more of, what was annoying me was lumuwag yung damit because she lost weight that whole week. It was a lot more snatched than that was. Kasi it looks like a regular cut-out stretch dress, but the dress is not stretched at all. There's a whole another body inside of that dress to really cinch her waist. And it was not that hard to put on daw. So, meaning, lumuwag siya. She lost weight.
So, nung lumuwag, buti, siyempre, it had to be...
It was still super lapad. But when I say lumuwag is, gusto ko yung hirap siyang humingay. And she felt it. She texted me after, like, oh my God, I lost weight. And then I'm like, what do you mean? It was so easy to zip up. First time, did you still feel cinched? She's like, yes naman, but it was easier to breathe than our fittings. So naisip ko, good thing, the Whang-Od gown, I made it an inch tighter than what the green was. Because you have to think about when they're during the competition, they sleep late at night, they sleep short hours, they're doing activities the whole day. Naturally, papayat talaga sila eh. So both gowns before leaving, I took it in more pa than what our last fitting was.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing
so,
that.
So yung Whang-Od niya, sobrang hirap pa rin daw suotin. Kasi she's like, we really had it tighter. Because I wanted it to look like skin. Kasi pet peeve ko, yung pag nag-mesh ka, tapos you see ripples, or you see like folds on the mesh. That's my biggest pet peeve. So I really wanted it to look like lapat na lapat talaga siya.
Pati nga yung pati nga yung yung computer animation nyo dun sa pasabog social...
that was all her idea.
Like, sabi ko, wow.
Like, we were so excited we didn't see that video until
she finally
her
came
social
out.
Media team sent it to us 5-10 minutes before she came out. Para walang leak. They really achieved it. Super galing. We shot that here upstairs in my studio.
Really?
Yeah.
Sana makaptura ko mamaya. All pens across the board talaga. Kasi even the green cutout gown, talaga, ngayon sasabihin ko sa'yo, Mark, matatandaan na siya ng tao because of that gown design. Pag sinabi mong cut-out design, ano na kay Michelle? Naka ano na kay Michelle sa pageant? Nakarehistro
That
na sa
was-
consciousness namin.
Super duper loved ko talaga. That dress started out as a black dress. Ang first fitting namin was 2 black gowns. The Whang-Od one and the cut-out gown. At the minute she put on the black na cut-out, looked super good. Pero sabi ko sa kanya, parang sabi ko, it's too redundant to have 2 black gowns. So green was the next
Tsaka bilib din
option.
ako kay Michelle. Kasi I've been pageant vlogging and watching pageants for the longest time. And I have to admit, I don't know if you've noticed too, black is such a hard color to pull off on stage.
Oo. And it's also hard to get a queen to agree to wear a black gown.
Yeah. So,
I don't know why, pero she's proved it wrong. Diba?
Diba? So, ang galing lang. During the entire time of this whole collaboration with Michelle, how much was her input in those 2 gowns na
Every single step of the process she was part of.
Mhm.
It's always, if I have a question or if I'm second guessing something,
Mhm.
we have a group chat, me, Michelle, and Earl. Every day, nagbabatuhan kami doon. Like, what if we do this? What if we do that? Or Michelle be like, pwede bang this thing gawin sa isa? This thing tanggalin? It was a back and forth process the whole time. We were fitting 3 to 4 hours a day for 10 days, every day.
Mhm.
As in, each gown, 1.5 to 2 hours each gown. Nakatayo lang siya dyan. And then we're just molding everything on her.
That is on top of the many outfits that she also wore during the pre-pageant
Yeah.
activities. Yeah. So, I'm curious to ask, how did you and Michelle become so close? Kasi I remember, yung first stint pa niyo sa MUP, hindi pa po kayo yung...
We weren't super duper close yet nung nationals, but we've known each other for years now because we have a lot of common friends.
Uh-huh.
Events or some people's at parties at home. Hi, hello, small talk. But I even one time after the lockdown, I tried motocross somewhere, and I met her there. And
This was this year lang?
last year.
Ah.
And then that's when I actually formally met her. Before that, it was just, in the same parties or the same event, but not really, talking because we have different groups din naman. But I got closer to her early this year. And then, yun nga, when she asked me to do for her MUPH, we also only had, a month and a half to prepare for her nationals. Because I didn't really say agree until the last minute kasi I didn't think she was serious. Kasi nga, ang sabi ko sa kanya, as long as you don't expect a pageant patty gown from me, I'm game.
I still remember when she came out in that black gown with a silver strap. Lahat kami talaga. Sobrang wow. Wow, hindi namin inasahan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think at that moment, the clean and crisp look really gave her an
So
advantage.
nag-expect din ako ng ganyan na solid fabric pagdating ng finals. Like, although
Hindi
in a
yan-
different color lang.
Hindi siya mag-work sa international stage. Because we felt na we actually wanted one option. That green one, when it was black, was supposed to be solid black with no stones. But we felt that it wouldn't have been received well internationally because it was not a red carpet, diba? If it was a red carpet, yes, which that's our forte kasi talaga red carpet and evening gowns talaga. But so we really had to challenge ourselves to make something that the Filipino pageant fans would be proud of because they're the hardest to please.
Buti hindi ka natakot, Mark. Kasi, syempre, after finals, syempre, you were on a high. Everyone was raving about your gown. Tapos, you would be sudden. Kasi, I remember, days after she won, she immediately announced that she would be wearing you. She would still be wearing you for the finals.
But-
Buti hindi ka natakot sa challenge, considering
Ay,
what
pero
happened.
her
before.
black evening gown sa MUPH wasn't naman super received 100% well by everyone, right?
Yeah.
It people still had a lot to say about that, but honestly for me when it comes to, negative things online, it doesn't bother me. But I'll be bothered if someone I knew personally had something negative to say, then I'll listen. But if it's just online,
Wow.
comments, I'm not gonna react to it kasi I know what we do here and we won't put something out that we're not proud of to begin with. So parang kumbaga tiwala na lang sa sarili and you have to have a little bit of self-confidence when it's needed.
How do you cultivate that relationship between you and your muse na ikaw pa rin yung ikaw pa rin yung magiging designer niya for her pageant assignment internationally?
I think I can speak for most of the local designers when I say this na parang it should be a no-brainer naman na if you gave your 100% support, because, when you dress these queens for national pageants, that is 100% full support. Meaning, you're all in with her for her journey. And um, everything is like for the love, basically. That's why hindi mo mawala yung emotional attachment. You get really close to the girls and all that stuff because it it's not just about what she making a dress and her going to the pageant. It's a relationship that you have to build. Hindi pwedeng in and out ka lang, fitting, you don't really converse and stuff. Then ako as a designer, hindi ko rin ano yung personality ng tao. So I wouldn't really know exactly what I'd make for her unless I just choose from my archive and do what I always do. If you notice, everything I did for Michelle, I've never done before. Also, kasi every time we make for whether it's a beauty queen or a client or a celebrity that's walking the red carpet, we don't put her in just any Mark Bumgarner dress that you've seen before. Aaralin ko yung buong personality and aaralin mo kung saan gagamitin and it has to speak volumes. The goal, syempre, is when you see it, it's Mark Bumgarner, but at the same time, it should also be the personality of the person wearing it. That's the challenge as a designer. Even if you're doing something new, something different, they should know that it's this designer who made it, but it should also be swak sa personality ng magsusuot. And with Michelle, it was very easy. Because when you meet her, what you see is what you get. She's very authentic. She doesn't second guess, she doesn't think before she answers when you give her a question. What you see is what you get. So it wasn't hard for me to get who she was. So it was honestly so easy in that aspect. The hard part was creating, but in figuring out what we want to see her in wasn't that hard because she was an open book from day one.
So after this, since you're riding in an all-time high with everything that's happening in pageantry lately, so would you be open to be collaborating with more aspiring beauty queens in the near future?
For next year, I'm not sure, because doing this whole journey with Michelle this year has really taken a lot of our
time.
Not only time, but a lot of our creative juices. I didn't release half of the collections I was supposed to release this year for the business, for the brand, because we were very focused on her journey. So I think next year I need to really bring back focus to my brand and to really do the collections I really need to release next. Kasi my calendar yan every year and I skipped 3 last year. But even the LA collection we did, half of the collection had Michelle in mind kasi we knew when we would get back from LA that she would need wardrobe for her daily activities. So almost 40% of what she wore there was straight from the runway. Kasi we already made those with her in mind. And they were super all girly, more solid. It's a really big difference from the two that she's gonna come out on stage in.
Which reminds me pala, is there any chance that the outfits that you made and the gowns that you made Michelle wear will be on public display? Kasi sobrang ganun na siya. Alam mo, kahit di siya nanalo, pero umabot na siya sa, ganun na siya kaka-iconic.
Yeah, that's crazy. We would
Yeah.
never
She even had a homecoming
expected
parade.
how it was pero I think I won't say no, but it has to be the right time and the right event. If it's an event or the right situation. I'm not she hasn't even seen it since she's got back.
So, that's my last question. As much as I would love to talk to you longer about what you have been doing in the fashion and pageant scenes lately, since you are very fond of your relationship with Michelle. So, what do you think? To all the aspiring beauty queens out there, what do you think is the secret for a successful collaboration between a muse and a fashion designer like you?
Well, for one, as a muse, you should come to your designer as your authentic self talaga. Let that person know who you are as a person, and the designer's job will be easier to, to think or to conceptualize something for you. Two, yes, you can collaborate, but a collaboration doesn't mean you're gonna tell the designer what you want to do and dictate. There has to be a level of trust with the designer to give the designer free reign to express his creativity. Hindi yung Michelle never came here with a photo of someone else's dress and I want this.
She wanted to be original.
She just would ask me a question or throw an idea, but she will never come to you with, she would never come here and be like, oh, this is nice, let's do something like this. Nothing ever started from a peg that came from her. She, from day one, complete trust.
Trust.
Yeah. And, diba, marami yung horror stories sa pageants, diba? Pero, if there's no mutual respect from the beginning, or if there's no, for the designer, then the designer hindi niya magagawa yung best niya for you. If the designer feels that you're not trusting the process.
Bakit ganun, sir? Kahit mo yun nga, nabanggit mo, ang daming horror stories, nandiyan ka pa rin, willing to share your talent.
Well, like I said, we try as much as possible to screen. Like with Michelle, siya talaga personally here coming every day. She doesn't have 3, 4, 5 people representing her or talking for her. A lot of the times, if there's too many people involved in the design process, it's too magulo. There's too many inputs. So that's when, for example, if there's so many people giving inputs, I will even second guess what I want. And it usually doesn't end up well if that's the case.
That is so
There's a level of trust talaga, kailangan
Trust.
just let go lang eh. Kasi bakit ka pupunta sa designer na yon or
Kung
sa
hindi mo naman
stylist na yon kung hindi mo naman trust fully yung taste ng person. Diba?
Sa bagay, you have a point.
If you come to a designer and you're not willing to give full trust, then you're already setting him up for failure. Or you're already in your head now, you might not like what he comes up.
Exactly.
But all designers don't have different, processes and stuff. Pero, and also queens also. Some queens, diba, it's not them who's in full control of their journey. Diba? Others have like really hands-on managers or RMs or stylists that really dictate everything. So, to each their own talaga.
Pero alam, bilib talaga ako sa inyo. Sobrang bilib ako kasi now that I think of it, kahit kayong dalawa lang ni Michelle yung nag-uusap about the gowns, nung pinakita nyo na sa MUP, still remember yung sinabi ni Michelle, yung gowns mo lang daw talaga, first time nila na sobrang naramdaman yung ganung excitement na they were all in unison, in agreement na okay.
Yeah,
Those would
actually,
be the gowns.
when she presented it to the whole org, I was waiting that night. Kasi I even sent sketches to Mama J, and because we had a dinner, we actually had a dinner with a few people from the org, Mama J and Voltaire. Shamsi wasn't able to make it to that dinner, and it was about 2.5 months before the competition. And then they're like, Mark, ano na? What's the, ano? Sabi ko, honestly, I haven't started anything. And they're like, huh? Sabi ko, I have a question lang for everyone on the table. Give me your top 3 colors. And so, sabi ko, give me your top 3 colors, but dalawa lang kasi black is a no-brainer. Black is there na. And everyone in unison said green and red. And then after the process was green and black yung na ano, but that was the only time we all ever talked about the clothes. And I felt, and I even told him a few days before Michelle left, and when I sent Mama J the final design and the final fitting. So thank you for giving us your complete trust. Ni nothing ni can I see this ni my update, they didn't. They gave
really
us
gave their
full
full
reign
trust.
talaga.
So, there you go, guys. Yun ang operative word for this interview. Trust. It is such a huge word. And na talagang kailangan mong i-live by when you're embarking on a pageant journey, whether you're the muse or the fashion designer or you're the organization itself. You really have to be trusting one another for a cohesive flow of the entire proceeding. So I hope you learned something new today from my interviewee. Marami pong salamat uli, Mark, for gracing this interview. Super, I've been wanting to interview you for so long kasi nga you've been making pageant counts, but I think today is the perfect opportunity to do that because of Michelle Dee. So marami pong salamat
Thank you
sa
also.
pagpapaunlak.
I hope I didn't say too much.
You spoke, we love it. You shared so many interesting stories behind the scenes, and that's what we will be, listening in the next few months.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Sir Mark. It was a pleasure getting to know you and your work that you did for Michelle Dee. God bless you more. I hope that after this, more clients will be calling you to
Hopefully.
to make their gowns for their events. So marami pong salamat uli. Sana sa uulitin I hope this won't be the first and last time I'll be able to interview.
I'm sure I'll see you at MUPH next year. I will watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
As a spectator and not as someone who made a gown for one of the candidates up there.
For now.
All right. God bless you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.